The Terragrim, perhaps the most unique sword in all of pre-hard mode. Unlike regular swords, it doesn't swing overhead, instead slashing in a short radius around the player. This slash is also unique in that it has the quickest attack speed attainable in all pre-hard mode, attacking once every 4 ticks, or 15 times per second, double the speed of the mini shark. However, the Terragrim is not known for its uniqueness as much as it is for its way of obtaining. It's just a 2% drop from enchanted sword shrines, making it insanely rare, and thus the Terragrim, as well as the old 1.3 Arcalis that it replaced, were commonly sought after by collectors who saw it as a milestone in their Terrarian journey. It's fair to say that most Terragrims or Arcalises made in Terraria don't actually see real combat during game progression. Instead, they are simply used as some moderately impressive wall ornament on the wall of some endgame player's treasure room. This all changed in 1.4.2, when the Princess NPC as well as the Celebration Mark 10 seed were introduced. On this secret seed, the Princess sells the Terragrim for just 25 gold, offering a relatively easy way to obtain this weapon for those either playing on the seed or those willing to world hop just to get this weapon. So now that their weapon isn't locked behind ridiculous RNG anymore, you can actually go ahead and obtain this during your regular pre-hard mode game progression. So, how does it hold up then? How does this wall ornament of a sword actually hold up as a weapon? Well, that's what we're looking into today. Let's start with the good. This sword has the fastest hit rate in all pre-hard mode, meaning that logically it should be excellent at knocking back enemies, even given its fairly weak knockback value of 3. And you're right, it is excellent at stun locking. This can easily be seen in the Brain of Cthulhu fight, where an unreforged Terragrim can easily defeat it on Master Mode with the aid of just a hook, not even any accessories. In Phase 1, it can stun lock creepers like this, forming a relatively impenetrable shield that not only blocks them from hitting you, but also deals decent damage as well. Sure, it's not the most effective offensive weapon for Stage 1, as a weapon like the Molotov Cocktail would be better, but it is absolutely able to do the work with less danger. Its stun lock prowess can be even more clearly seen in Phase 2 though, when the stun lock shield can even stop the entire boss in its tracks. As long as you know roughly what direction the brain is coming from, you can basically just stand still and aim in the general direction of it and it will make light work of the brain. It's also good at defeating swarms like the Goblin Invasion due to both its stun locking potential and infinite pierce. For example, goblins can be bulldozed forward like this and eventually stack on top of each other, where the infinite pierce then takes care of the rest, in a rather expedient fashion as well. Unfortunately though, not everything in this game is like Brain or Goblin Army, and this is where we start to reach the downsides of this weapon. For example, the Eater of Worlds, a boss that the Terraria wiki confidently lists the Terragrim as being very effective against. This assertion, however, would generally be seen as inaccurate. Sure, the Terragrim should be effective with its great pierce and wide slash, and the sword itself even gives you near immunity to the Eater's anti-aircraft guns as it can destroy their projectiles. However, getting this close like I'm showing here is essentially a death wish. Sure, you can block the projectiles, but the Eater itself is harder to dodge, especially like this. And it gets worse when he splits. Unfortunately, on Expert and Master Mode, the Terragrim just doesn't deal enough damage to kill the Eater segments in one rush, meaning the splitting both occurs and is extremely annoying. The amount of damage you'll take trying to get close is just too much. Basically, this weapon can be summed up in 2 words: stun lock. If it can stun lock an enemy, it's really good for a pre-boss weapon since its base DPS is so high, and a stun lock protection veil makes sure you can actually use that damage without getting instantly murked by an enemy. If the weapon fails to protect you though, then the painful range will become a glaring reality, and the risk calculations break down. But for the things it can stun lock, it is pretty powerful. If you want the most brainless brain kill, it's not bad. Killing any swarm enemy becomes trivial. On normal mode, where enemies don't pose imminent death at close range and have much less health, the Terragrim again becomes a viable option. It's definitely more of a niche weapon, but it has its uses. If you're looking for a more off-meta melee weapon, then you just might have some fun using the Terragrim. Hello, if you're part of the 80% of my viewers who aren't subscribed, I ask you to subscribe. Here's 2 other similar videos, one about another rare Terraria weapon, the Bloody Machete, and another about one of the most commonly used weapon pairs, the Vortex Beater and Phantasm. Either way though, thank you for watching, and good day and goodbye.